If you've been thinking about traveling to Egypt, or if you're already going and you're looking for inspiration on what to do, this video is for you. I've been to Egypt 2 times, so I wanted to put together this ultimate guide of things that I enjoy doing just in case you might enjoy them too. I cannot stress this enough. If you are visiting Egypt, get a tour guide and let them take you around everywhere you go. It is the best way to travel Egypt. Of course, you have to go to the Pyramids of Giza, but there are so many ways to enjoy the Pyramids of Giza instead of just looking at them. Once you pay your entrance fee and you're inside of the area of the Pyramids of Giza, you can then actually go inside of one of the pyramids, as well as do a few other things like camel riding and horseback riding like you see me doing here. I know what you're thinking. This is no ordinary horseback riding. I was actually doing that for a photo. And you can't leave this area without seeing the Sphinx up close and personal. Make sure you try some authentic Egyptian cuisine. Here you see our tour guide showing us how to properly fold the bread in order to eat it the way that they authentically do. This was such a memorable lunch because our tour guide sat with us and he shared stories with us. It was a really authentic experience that we both really enjoyed. Another activity to put in your itinerary is going to see some artisans and some craftsmen do lots of different cool things. This particular craftsman is creating glass bottles straight from fire, y'all. This was the coolest thing for real. If you want to immerse yourself in Egyptian history and see so many cool statues and all the different ancient things, make sure to visit the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. One of the craziest things we saw at this museum were actual mummies, y'all. For educational purposes, they do leave these mummies here. They also go through how the mummified process works, all the different things that goes into it. It was just a wild experience, honestly. Next up is a day trip to Luxor. Do not stay in Cairo for your entire trip, you guys. You will be robbing yourself of an experience of a lifetime. Luxor has some of the most rich Egyptian history there is. You'll get to experience ancient hieroglyphs that still have their color. This is an unforgettable experience, you guys. I really loved it here. You also can go down and see a tomb if that's something you want to see. Now, I enjoyed the Karnak Temple more than I enjoyed the Pyramids of Giza, y'all. This place is incredible. The rich history, it just looks like a movie set. While a lot of the site is destroyed, what is left is absolutely stunning. I can only imagine what messages are on these pillars and what they all meant. Ancient Egypt is one of the most incredible wonders of the world. Look at this, y'all. During our day trip to Luxor, we took a boat ride on the iconic Nile River. You can schedule one of these whether you're in Cairo or if you're in Luxor, because obviously the river runs through both places. Wishing you safe travels and lots of fun. Since Egypt was the very first African country I went to, I'm going to start talking about my African travels by starting with Egypt. Now, to address this comment where she's asking what my experiences was like because she's heard that they can be racist against American Black people, that was not my experience in Egypt, but I think I know why. Now, I've been to Egypt twice, once in 2017 and the other being last year at the end of 2022. Both times I worked with a tour guide who took us everywhere. From the moment we got to the airport, we were picked up, taken to our lodging, and then he picked us up and took us everywhere we went. So there was never a time that we had to kind of be out in Egypt without him being right there. If you are someone looking to travel to Egypt and you are unsure of how you'll be treated as a Black American, my suggestion is to book a tour guide and stick with them the entire time. There was one specific time that we were at a market and we did not have our tour guide with us. This was last year, and we were being called a lot of different names while we were walking through the market. I was being called Chocolate. The young lady I was with, she is Dominican, so she's lighter skinned with more curly hair. They were calling her Shakira. It was crazy, but they were just yelling stuff out and, just saying whatever. Our tour guide was not around at that time, but anytime we were walking with him, we were not faced with those same kinds of remarks and stuff. This is the first time I visited Egypt. I was there on a layover. I was there for 14 hours, so I was able to go and see the Pyramids of Giza, as well as did like a boat tour on the Nile River. This is a photo of me the second time I went to Egypt just last year, and I got to see the Pyramids of Giza again Not only did we go to see the pyramids of Giza and stay in Cairo, we also took a day trip to Luxor. This is me in Luxor, Egypt, at the Karnak Temple, which is absolutely amazing. And again, me and my friend, we allowed the tour guide to book everything for us. We just let him know what we wanted to do, and he did everything on the ground in Egypt. He's actually the same guide that I booked when I was there the first time. So I got to work with him again, and it was amazing. He did a great job planning everything. Here's a photo of me and my travel buddy. And fun fact, this is our first time ever meeting on this trip. She lives in New York. I live in Chicago. We've been friends on Instagram for some time, and we decided to take this trip together for her 30th birthday. It was an amazing time. But this is our tour guide in Luxor. He was amazing and so sweet. He even went over like the history of the Nubians and the African people that were, in Egypt before it was colonized and all of those things. And he just gave mad respect to the native Africans in Egypt. Here's another photo of me doing a camel ride in the area of the pyramids. In conclusion, I had a great time in Egypt both times I was there, and I did feel safe. If you guys want the guide's information that I booked with when I was there, I'll be happy to give it to you. He is on Instagram, so if you guys want that information, message me on Instagram and I'll send you his page. I'll see you in the next video where we're going to talk about Tanzania.
Travel with me for my first ever solo trip to Egypt. So for my 27th birthday, I did decide to come to the motherland, and here's how it went. So my flight landed around 11 at night, so I didn't have no time to really settle in and get some rest because I had to be up bright and early to start my day of activities. So day one, I did go to the pyramids of Giza, a must-see attraction to do while you are in Egypt. I also did hire a tour guide to take me around Cairo for a few days. I highly recommend getting a tour guide if you are a solo traveler. Is a must in my opinion. They took all my pictures, all my videos. They took me out to eat, transportation. I didn't have to worry about nothing, you guys, which I loved. I also did try the jumping horse excursion, which was so much fun, you guys. I didn't get no video footage, but I did insert that picture. They also took me to the restaurant. It was a part of my itinerary. The food here was fire. It was so good. Now, this is where stuff started to get dangerous. I spent $700 my first day in Egypt. $700 on perfume oils. They are my weakness, so definitely come along for the rest of my trip.
Skipped the beauty services back at home and decided to get everything done in Egypt. I first started off with wood therapy or Brazilian massage. Some of you guys know this as body contouring. This is probably one of the best body contouring sessions I've had in a while. She really got my bloating out, and it was full body, so I ended up really relaxed by the end of it. Thank you. Then I went to the dentist and I got my silver fillings replaced with white fillings. No more grills, thank you, Lord. Then I headed over to Cairo and got right back into the spa, where I started off with a sauna and jacuzzi session, then got a facial, body scrub, body wrap, and a full body massage. By the way, this was at Marriott Mena House, where you could see the pyramids from it in Giza. Then I went and got my hair braided. Definitely was not walking into 2026 with my old tired braids from my liveaboard. This was great because they took out my braids, they washed and dried my hair, and then they put in large knotless for the low. Thank you, SG Beauty Lounge. They also did my nails, which was really affordable as well, and it was super quick. Then I ended with a royal rejuvenation at the St. Regis in Cairo. This is where I got really splurged and got all my services.
I went to Egypt solo, and here's some mistakes I think you should avoid and some things that you need to know.
So many people ask me if Egypt is safe. So I just want to say from my trip personally, I felt safe for the entire time in Egypt.
And I just want to note that I can only speak about my personal experience and not the experience of others.
A mistake to avoid in Egypt is definitely not hiring a guide, and I also would say not hiring a driver too. Now let's get into the visa process.
Definitely do not get scammed before you even get to Egypt. Make sure that you're only using the official site to get your e-visa, or you can do one on arrival. It's up to you. Money, money, money. Egypt is not the place to try to think that you're not going to be tipping. You are going to be tipping everybody for everything. Next mistake I think a lot of people make is that they only visit Cairo, and I think you should definitely leave room to at least do Luxor. Yeah, that traffic in Cairo, I ain't gonna even hold y'all. It was a hot mess, okay? So just be prepared for that. When it comes to location definitely matters, and you want to decide if you want to stay more in the downtown Cairo area or if you want to stay in the Giza neighborhood, which is closer to the pyramids. Just do your research because you might not like the area outside of the hotel. Y'all, don't come to Egypt trying to buy anything and you are not willing to negotiate.